Yes. You know what time it is, team. Here we are. We are back again. This is the lightning round, and I am your host, Charles Becco. I want to thank everybody for being here today. Man, we got a lot to talk about today. On a sleepy Friday, the markets are clapped. But it's okay. Have no fear. Charles Becco is here. All right, team. Again, want to thank everybody for being here today. I'm your host, Charles Becco. Not too sure if my fellow co-mods will be joining us today. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they ate too much turkey. Who knows? But the market is clapped. The claps are coming. Man. So, new COVID variant out there. And got mixed feelings about it. Lots of mixed feelings about the COVID variant. You know, so far, it seems as if there are less than 100 cases. Okay, let's be clear, right? Don't want to, cause a frenzy or some kind of panic. It seems like less than 100 confirmed cases, maybe a few dozen, spread throughout South Africa. I saw one in Belgium, the United States, and some other countries have started some very specific travel restrictions. I can't even talk. They have started some very specific travel restrictions in those various countries, okay? And so today we will be going over what's really going on with the market, because I will tell you this, the short setup had been there, and it's been there, right? But now the short setup has expanded from just the QQQ to engulf also the SPY and Apple, right? So it's spreading. It's I won't say it's quite a contagion, but it's spreading, right? And so just give me 1 second here. I just want to make sure I'm getting everything up in all the rooms. Let me now go grab the link here for you guys and gals. Oh, why am I not? I'm also not on the Wi-Fi. Let me put myself on the Wi-Fi so I could also come out correctly. All right, wonderful. Okay, we are now on the Wi-Fi. In the kitchen, wrist twisting like it's Wi-Fi. All right. Let me now pin. I'm going to pin the link to the YouTube up top. I think that's it. Hopefully that is it. All right, there it is. There it is. Okay, so again, until my fellow co-mods get here, feel free to send me y'all's tickers. Send it to me on the back end, and I will be more than happy to potentially break them down for you. Okay, just give me a second here. Just want to make sure that we make a good faith effort to alert everyone to the room. And that's it. All right. Boom. All right. Now that we've done that. Okay. Got that going on here. And let's get started. So unfortunately, we will not be streaming to Facebook and Twitch. For some reason, the multi-stream service was giving trouble. Okay, multi-stream service was giving trouble. I do see Megan here, my co-mod. Megan, introduce yourself to the crowd.
Happy Friday, everybody. I am Megan. I'm a financial planner. I am a tax strategist, certified financial planner, enrolled agent on the tax side. I am a Brooklyn Traders swing trade option trader, and mother, wife of 3, all that good stuff. I am here to help Charles mob the room. If y'all need anything, hit me up on the back end. Charles, back to you.
All right, very good. So I'm just kind of going through all my charts here. I'm trying to find the chart that could most succinctly describe what's going on in the market today. And I think I want to grab this chart because I think I could do some things with it. We make sure that we all are seeing the same things. Right about there. Okay, wonderful. Okay, now we've got Apple. Okay, so Apple is in a short setup today. Yeah, actually, let me start with SPY. SPY is where the action is, right? SPY is where the trouble is. Okay. So let's talk about crude first, and then we'll get to SPY. So this is kind of a disaster, right? Crude was down almost like, I think at one point 15% today, right? So yeah, you're talking about the futures on the actual commodity being down 15%. That is a gigantic number. Okay, that's not a small number. Now, crude had been in a short setup for pretty much 2 weeks now, right? We made the high here, came down, up, kind of a bear flag type situation. And yeah, we are back down again, but it's just so much worse, right? And so here's the thing, right? SPY needs two things to be bullish, okay? In order for SPY to be bullish, we need two things. We need crude oil, okay, or oil in general to be bullish. We also need the banks, right? So check this out. Gigantic gap down on the XLF ETF that tracks most of the major banks, right? And then we got crude oil getting crushed here, okay? We had a MACD cross down and SPY a few days ago, actually, right? Even before, here's the thing, right? Sometimes you could get negative signals, right, and still go up and still be positive, right? So even though the MACD cross down happened, let's say, a few days ago, right, starting around here, negatively on the SPY, right, we still went up and we still made highs, okay? Now, here, we were kind of chopping around. We were losing some steam here on the histogram, which was a clue, right? It doesn't always have to play out this way, right? But it was a clue. And we were still bullish here, okay? This is still a very bullish trend, right? But today, as of today, right, once we broke this support level, once we broke the 21 and we fully got down and we didn't turn back, okay, we are fully within a short setup with volume, okay? Again, today's supposed to be a very sleepy day in the market, right? It's the Friday after Thanksgiving. It's supposed to be a very low volume day. And what do we have here? We have SPY breaking through the 21 support level, and I believe it also broke through, or is sitting on top of, the 34. Now, here's the thing, okay? SPY could go both ways here. SPY could go left, SPY could go right. So how do we decide which way SPY is going to go? Because again, it is sitting. Okay, let me pull up another chart here, right? And I'm sorry for all the noise, but there's reason for all the noise here. Let me pull up this chart here. You can see that SPY is actually sitting on the 34. Okay, simple moving average. Okay, or at least it was during the market hours. Since the market has closed, SPY is actually down another $2. Okay, meaning market closed, SPY is still selling off. Presently down another $2, right? So typically, I don't like to open, even though we have a short setup today, right? That's fresh today. I do not like to open short positions on weakness. Okay, but we did for two reasons. Number one, crude oil. Okay, crude oil just got demolished today and squeezed downward with volume. And then the weekly. Here's the scary part of what's happening with crude oil. We have a weekly MACD cross to the downside. Okay, on crude oil, And I didn't even look at XLF. Let's look at it together. Oh yeah, look, here it is. All right, there it is. Almost looks like kind of fresh. Okay, MACD cross down. Okay, it looks like we tried to bounce. The bulls. I mean, sure, we made a high. Okay, we made a high, whatever. But relatively speaking, right, it wasn't really that strong, right? Not really on a lot of conviction here. You can tell by the shape and the color of the MACD here on XLF on the weekly time frame. So on a weekly time frame, the banks are bearish and oil is bearish. With these two things, you cannot have a good time in the stock market, generally speaking. So yeah, we, for full disclosure, we, even though we weren't long SPY, I think we were long Qs coming into this. We did definitely close our Q calls coming into this. We were long Apple coming into this. We had to close our Apples coming into this, and we reversed course and went short, right? We did catch a little intraday bounce. We did catch this little intraday bounce here on SPY for a scalp, and then we changed positions and went short. And, you know, they say that the amateurs open the market and professionals close it. And, again, we went from not quite testing highs, right, but having a nice Superman bounce towards the close, right, and then just a gigantic sell-off. Made a fresh low, broke lows here that we shorted into and are still presently short. And again, SPY down $2 after hours, right? So yeah, going into next week, SPY is bullish. I do have more to say about SPY, but before I speak any longer, I do want to welcome to the stage the Panther, Lawrence Eggleston, to the stage. Lawrence, what is your feedback on the market, sir?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I would say definitely some fear. And I think had this not been Friday after Thanksgiving, I think you would have saw potentially the Dow down 2,000 points, my opinion. But I would say that, I mean, this is like healthy. If you're a long-term investor, if you're someone looking to invest long-term, this is what comes with being a long-term investor. Not every day the market is going to go up. I would say there's some fear in the market right now. One of the things that I don't like, though, is that the fact that, like, everyone thought COVID was necessarily over, and the way the media is spreading it, like, hey, you know, it was over and now it's back, where it's like, I mean, there's some issues here, but we'll see how far they can contain it. You know, it's always like that quick talk. All it takes is one day, and you know, people are already starting the DMs of, should I sell my portfolio? Should I do this? Should I do that? And it's just like, sometimes you got to be patient. You know, take the good with the bad. Had the Dow been up 1,000 points today, we would have been cheerleading the market. So, you know, I just kind of tell people that. I'm interested to see what happens and plays out. I'll leave it to some of the professionals as far as the scientific aspect of things when it comes to the different variants. But I would say that I expect some of the names that got sold off. I think tech is going to be a beneficiary of this if this truly does transpire where countries are locked down big time, and we'll see if it transitions to the United States. I think so far it's been a little bit of an overreaction, but we'll see. But I wouldn't mind the SPY pulling back to about 448. I personally see that happening if it can break below 455. So that would be a nice healthy pullback. And, you know, December's about to come, starts on Wednesday. I think the Federal Reserve, it'll be key to see if they change any of their position when it comes to maybe a potential taper that they were looking to do. How this really affects other things. I would say that's probably the most interesting thing that I'm looking at is, did this derail any plans that the United States Federal Reserve had to cut back some of the support they were providing? And, you know, I just want to see, you know, families and people be healthy first and foremost. So that would be kind of my thoughts. I would tell people who are not really experienced with technicals to probably step back and protect the cash. this is why I always tell people to appreciate the moves that we saw in Tesla and appreciate the NVIDIAs and the AMDs, because in times like this when there's a lot of uncertainty, cash is your best position. So that would be my take. And I'm currently in cash. So
wonderful, Lawrence. Yeah, so definitely you brought up a good point. Definitely raised some cash today. A portion of my portfolio is short, a portion is in cash. I think I have like a few swings left in terms of swinging options. Portion cash, definitely stock, and that's pretty much it. Nothing too significant there. Okay, and so with that being said, here's the next thing with SPY. Again, I was looking for an oversold bounce. It's very dangerous to want to short this kind of a market because anytime you see some kind of short setup, right, it's like it's here and then it's gone, right? And you have to just be very, very careful. Like, for instance, the Qs. The Qs had a short setup that happened a few days ago, Monday here, that we took advantage of. We took the short Monday evening, closed the short midday Monday, and then that was just it, right? But the Qs were still in a short setup technically. It's just the way that the chart was looking. It looked like maybe potentially this 21 wanted to hold and for us to go higher. I will say this, right? Overall, the overall structure, right? The superstructure of the charts has not been tainted, right? And so given the fact that the superstructure of the charts has not been tainted, I would say that overall, you do want to look at this when the smoke clears, when the bleeding stops, as more of a buying opportunity, okay? Initially, right? And to be honest with you, was very slow to act today, right? It's not like we opened it up, okay, we're red, we're just going to short out the gate and blah, 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 blah. No. It took some time. we actually absorbed a few losses earlier in the beginning of the trading day, just trying to sit down and really figure out what the market wanted to do. Because just like Lawrence said, I personally believe that the move was a little bit, to me, an overreaction, right? You're talking about a few dozen COVID cases in an isolated part of the world. You're talking about, yeah, it's a new variant, but what is the science? What does the data say, right? If it's a new variant, how do we know? How does anyone know how effective any of the vaccines are? I heard something that said, hey, this new aggressive variant makes the vaccines 44% less effective. But what does that really mean? And how do we have all the information so fast that we need in the market, right? And so to me, there's just not enough data out there to really make any real judgment, right? To again, there's only but so long you can speculate. After a while, you're gonna have to look at you can say, sorry, the phrase is you can't just stare at a gift horse in the mouth, right? So for me, here's the Qs, blah 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 blah. So we got a breakdown here, you got to retest, another breakdown, a little bounce, another breakdown, and we just keep fading for the rest of the day. And on the SPY, we sell off into the end of the day, right? So again, along with the analysis on oil, along with the analysis of the banks, it looks like we are in store for some more bearishness next week. Most important is the VIX. My goodness, I don't think I've ever seen, or I don't recall, okay, a single day where the VIX is up 54% in a day. One day. I don't recall, okay? I'm sure it's happened lots of times, right? But yeah, the VIX went up so far. We had a squeeze fired long on the VIX, right? Which is, usually when the VIX gets so hot. I do want to pull up another indicator here. I know I'm getting super technical for some of you. VIX is just a fear gauge, volatility gauge. And, when the VIX is up, right, that also means, it doesn't mean the VIX is up short the market. The VIX is saying, hey, the market's going to be volatile. can be volatile going both ways, okay? We've been seeing big swings. Even within the last 3, 4, 5 trading minutes in the market, the SPY swung. Literally, the SPY swung $3 or $4 within the last minute, which is insane. Here's something that was very startling. We had typically when you get this high up on the put-call ratio, which is the ratio of puts to calls in the market, once you get up to around 80, that's usually a time to buy the market. But yeah, that just wasn't the case today. And the sell-off really continued to intensify. But again, I'm going to just don't want to get too lost here, right? Overall, the superstructure of the market is not broken. Okay? Let me pull up just one more chart, and then we'll just move on. I do see that we have a guest to the stage. Antoine, welcome to the stage. And so this is not Antoine, just a fair warning here. This is not a popcorn talk, okay? Typically, when we invite people to the stage for the lightning round, we take a look at tickers that our guest speakers want us to take a look at. So if you have a ticker that you would like for us to break down, we will break them down for you. Antoine, do you have a ticker?
Charles, I hear you. Good to see you guys. I haven't been on here much, but I actually just randomly jumped on and heard a part of the conversation. And because of my licensing, I don't analyze tickers. I'm not allowed to do it. But I just wanted to speak on what you guys were actually speaking to, if that's okay.
Antoine, now I'm sorry, but this is not quite the show for that.
Okay, no sweat. You guys carry on. I'll just listen. Put me back in the audience.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Antoine. We have a show.
No sweat.
Yeah, we have a show during the DGen's room where we kind of invite people up to the stage and we do analysis. Right now, I've got a bunch of tickers that actually the moderators have to break down. So this wasn't really a popcorn style of room. I do apologize for that.
Get to it.
Okay, pretty cool. I appreciate that, Antoine. I'm sorry, I'm still looking for my chart here. Just give me a second, team. There's just so much going on the market. You want to do a reset?
Yeah,
give us a reset, Megan.
For that, I'm going to give you a reset. So welcome to the day trading season. This is the lightning round where you can send us tickers on the back end. It sounds like we've got a lot already. But if you have one, we might be able to sneak 1 or 2 in. You can back channel that to me through the little paper airplane in Clubhouse. Make sure that you like the greenhouse, follow the greenhouse, the day trade and DGens, one of the biggest rooms in all of Clubhouse, so that you get notifications when we're doing these pop-ups. The link right above my head, the lightning round oil clap link, if you click that, it'll take you to YouTube where you can follow Charles breaking down these charts live. So make sure you click that. And while you're in there, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, Panther, for being here. We always appreciate having you. Charles, back to you.
Okay, very good. And again, thank you so much, team. I did find a chart that I was looking for. Let me just make sure everybody could see it. Again, team, just click the link. Join us on YouTube here. So again, we were sitting on top of the 34 simple moving average. We got an obligatory bounce sometime during the day where we bounced all the way up to like 461.34. It would have been a nice little bounce, and then we faded towards the end of the day. Right now, where we're sitting is 456.88, right? So we're just about there. And so for me, the next major support level on the daily time frame on SPY is going to be the 55, which is 451, right? And so again, as you can see, right, when you have the averages here, and let me just kind of fatten them up here. Let me make it thicker than the Snicker, right? Because I really wanted to, I really want you guys and gals to see that basically the overall structure, right? If you wanted to look at a chart and just say, hey, is this bullish or bearish, right? Just look at the structure. Typically, if you have, well, that's weird. I'm not too sure why. That's funny. So Thinkorswim just had another, I guess it's programmed to give end of day close bell. So we got a bell just now signaling the close of the stock market, right? We got Mo Atani here. Welcome, Mo. Just give me 1 second.
How you doing, my brother?
No problem. I'm gonna let you get to it.
I thought you put a bell on each ticker you were getting.
No. No, that's not the case here. Just give me 1 second. Let me I'm just making this all thicker than a Snicker because I know it's super hard for you guys to see on the screen, right? All right, so you see how each one of these moving averages, right? They're stacked positively on top of each other. As long as these lines are not crossing each other, you're still in a buy to dip zone, right? So again, even if SPY and the Qs want to pull back a little bit, as long as these lines aren't crossing, especially downwards in between each other, the overall structure of the market itself is fine, right? So it's, of course, here's the 8 SMA, the 21, 34, 55, 89, and the 200 way down here, right? So there's nothing super serious to panic about, but look at oil. Man, Mo Atani, would you introduce yourself to the crowd? And Mo, give us your perspective on oil. I mean, look at this, man. I mean, geez, 13%. Mo, what you got to say about that?
Yeah, no, hi. First of all, thank you. I just came up. Megan, thank you for bringing me up, and it's nice to see everybody on the deck. Yeah, oil, I think obviously with this whole concern with the variant, with what it means to travel and maybe even more potential lockdowns, obviously that's going to take a hit on demand, right? So that's really where a lot of the futures traders are trading it down, and effectively those contracts are coming down fast. We saw what happened last year, right, with oil futures going negative even at one point because of oil demand. So I think what we did anticipate that markets are primarily bullish, and we anticipated oil to even go above $100, by the way, even with the United States and other countries tapping into the reserves, emergency reserves, and how OPEC will mitigate that. So I was bullish prior to this on oil, but the question right now really lies in this whole variant, COVID variant situation, and what it actually means, and if true that it's that the vaccines don't work on this new variant, you're going to see a lot of economic slowdown, and that obviously means slowdown in consumption. So that should come down.
All right, Mo, thank you very much. And again, Mo Atani, everybody. Mo, you want to tell everyone, who you are and what you do? Because I know that you don't join us too often, and so I just wanted to make sure the crowd is introduced to you properly. I know people know you from the Pre-Market Movers morning show, but sometimes we have a slightly different crowd in the afternoon. Could you just introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah. Okay. My name is Mo Atani. Been personally trading and investing for over 21 years now. I've been in the professional finance industry for over 11. I manage a private fund in Qatar, we're focused on primarily real estate equity markets and some tech startups. That's what we do, and I help Charles and Lawrence and Megan with the pre-market movers to help folks bridge the gap of the financial literacy world.
Appreciate that and appreciate your time, Mo. All right, let's get to the tickers, right? So here's one I'm very sad about, okay? The Roblox. Now, Roblox has been in a short setup for a few days now, believe it or not. There was a short setup that printed out, and again, that's what makes this tricky, right? This is Friday, this is Wednesday, and this will make it Tuesday, right? On Tuesday, a short setup printed out on Roblox, and then we had a nice big bounce on Wednesday, right? And even though it's the market Roblox actually went higher but ended lower today. Actually, the move on it looks very strange. But Roblox is still technically in a short setup. Again, it's just very scary to short very strong names. In fact, the fact that Roblox is not down here and is holding its 8 SMA makes me believe that maybe this would be a good thing. One of the things that was scary today is some of the names that should have been very bullish or had a bullish response to this news weren't. Take-Two, for instance, right? Take-Two, video game maker of Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, right? This thing was in a long setup as of today, right? So this is in a long setup, right? But then you have names like CVS. CVS is down 1% and is in a short setup, right? And this should be very good for CVS, right? More, people are home, more trips to CVS, yada, yada, yada. Again, we talked about, CVS being the bodega for a lot of communities here. You see the MACD cross down. You see we're under our 21. We're sitting on top of our 34. So I think CVS wants to do a gigantic bull flag, come down here and maybe rally higher. But, CVS also has news against a case. But, CVS should have been strong, but it was weak. Just the tech sector in general, right? There are several tech names that should have maybe responded positively to this. We did see Netflix have a, somewhat of a positive response. COVID play. You do see Zoom had a nice positive response, but, finished kind of lower on the day, actually at the day's lows. You had BNTX, gigantic move from BioNTech. Is it BNTX? Right, gigantic move here. Just Superman right off the EMAs here. You had MRNA, right? But then you had Pfizer, maker of the COVID pill to treat the other variants. Not Pfizer. It wasn't Pfizer. Pfizer had a good move. It was Merck, actually. MRCK. It's Merck. MRK here. Merck was down almost 6% today, right? Right back to its daily 200. Kind of up and down. A team, we do have a COVID watch list as well. Okay, so keep watching, and we could do a special giveaway of our COVID watch list. I believe there's actually something like 30 or 40 tickers on there of names that typically benefit from COVID. You had a little pop in Peloton here. Okay, Peloton, obligatory pop. Peloton actually is in a long setup right now. There you go. Chegg. Okay, Chegg again. The Chegg is supposed to do well, right? If you're going back into lockdowns, Chegg should be good. But Chegg couldn't even get a bounce here, right? So that's really, really bad for Chegg. Chegg down from 115, just absolutely obliterated. The stock's down 70%. Here is the COVID watch list, right? A bunch of names on here: OSTK, JD, Akami, Peloton, TDoc, Roku, Docu, Zoom, Myrna, Crowd, Spotify and Crowd. Nice move on both. Crowd in a long setup today as well. Okay. Hope you, ladies and gentlemen, are taking notes. But yeah, on to the tickers. Actually, Megan, give us one more reset, and we're going to get to the rest of the tickers, please.
Absolutely. So during this reset, I just want to remind you that we are sponsored by CRWD. You can check that out on Amazon. It's also in the YouTube. At the end of the YouTube, it's in the bottom, like links in there. So make sure that you click the YouTube link, subscribe to YouTube, check out CRWD. While Charles is doing that reset, one thing that I'll talk to you about is as quickly as it fell, the market today. So be cautious with your portfolio. Make sure that you understand whether this money is short-term, if it's now money, if it's short-term money, if it's in the future, or wait in the future long-term. Make sure that you're allocating it appropriately, because if you need this money in the next year to 3 years, probably shouldn't be super aggressive, because it goes up slowly sometimes and it falls very quickly. And COVID never went away. This isn't new information. And so the market fell really hard with something that didn't really surprise or shock me at all. I worry what will happen if there is some really big news. We've got inflation, we've got the tapering conversations, we've got geopolitical issues, we've got Biden wanting to raise tax rates on the ultra wealthy. So there's a lot of different things out there that would potentially move it even further. So just make sure that you're allocated appropriately. determining on whether that's a long-term, a short-term, or now money. So just be careful with that. Charles, back to you.
All right. Wow, Megan, thank you so much for that reset. And thank you so much for highlighting one of our sponsors here. Again, sorry, Cirilla. I was almost going to say Gorilla, right? Cirilla Energy Tea. Team, I've tried it. It's healthy. It's natural. It's sustainable. It helps the people of Rwanda who help sustainably source it as well. Team, it's just a great product. Great company. Sarah, one of our members of the community, she is the founder of Civility, and we love this product. All right, so go out and check it out. All right, so yeah, again, team, just stay on, and we will be giving away a special COVID watch list. Okay, there's 50 tickers on this list, on this watch list, and we'll be giving it away towards the end of the show. All right, so stay tuned.
If you know somebody that might benefit from the COVID watch list, make sure you ping them in before we do that giveaway, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Charles, back to you.
Boom. Thank you so much, Megan. And again, we do have it as a PDF, so I'm not, whether we get an email or I don't know if we could send it via IG or something. We'll figure out a way to get it to you. But again, over 50 names on that watch list there for COVID plays. Okay, so let's get to the first sticker. Rivian. Okay, let's check it out. I did see Rivian moving. I didn't pay too much attention to it today. What's going on with Rivian? Okay, nice bounce off of its 200 here. Rivian is still bearish. Still bearish here. Okay. Again, once you get close to the 200, I got as close as it almost ever was to its IPO price, right? And so we did get an obligatory bounce there, but it's still bearish here on Rivian, and so I would just watch out for that. So that's what we have on Rivian. Next one, AMC, and this one's gonna sting a little bit here. For the apes, man, you see it, right? You do see it, right? There was a wedge here, and we just broke out of the wedge to the downside. I'm sorry to all the Wall Street bets apes out there. Man, this has got to be a heartbreaker. We were close to doing something very special. Full disclosure, we don't have any position here, but you can see the price is down here. So we have broken out of this wedge to the downside, right? Does that mean this thing is destroyed? No. It just means that we have to wait for another opportunity. Next support level is $35 here on AMC. Okay, so that's more of a hold off. Just wait. Blink. Hey, Blink's holding up here. Hey, the fact that Blink, okay, outperformed Apple, that should make y'all think of something, man. You got to think of, like, when things are going crazy, right? Where is their strength? And to me, for a name like Blink, something that swings 3 and 4% in a day, right? The fact that Blink is actually sitting on top of its 21 here is hopeful. Here's what I don't like about Blink. We have a MACD cross to the downside. So I'm thinking, even if we were kind of to crawl back up here to 40 or 41, I'm thinking the shorts might want to come back in and short this thing. So just be careful on Blink. But again, I like the fact that it's holding above its 21. And so here's the tail of the tape, right? If we're above its 21, which is going to be, as of right now, 37.36. If it's above the 21, we hold. And if it's below 21, we sell. All right? That's what we got here on Blink. Let's see, VSCO, Vasco. Oh, Victoria's Secret. Okay, pretty cool. I do like this hammer here that Victoria's Secret printed out. Again, nice bullish reaction off of earnings. And to me, this is akin or similar to what I call a trampoline setup. You had positive earnings. Price came down to below the pre-earnings level, and the buyers came and bought it up, right? And so for me, this looks pretty okay. I would say give Victoria's Secret or Vasco some more time before you want to jump in. But I actually like, even though it's down 3%, I do like this pullback in Victoria's Secret for maybe some longer term shares. So Victoria's Secret is not so bad here, right? So keep your eye on it for a dip buy. Okay, so that's Victoria's Secret. Let's look at Phil here. So we're still in this wedge, right? And so we need to see a resolution of the wedge, right? Team, I'm just letting y'all know, right? When the market's going crazy like this is typically not the best time to be fooling around with penny stocks. I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. Y'all know how I feel about penny stocks. I don't know why y'all keep sending me these penny stocks, but dagnabbit, hey, look, I ain't going to hate, okay? If Phil could bust out of this wedge, right? If he get at or above 74 and go this way, then hey, winner chicken dinner. But if Phil wants to break his 200 right there and break under 6 cents or 0.06 cents, you got to take your chips off the table. And to me, team, just in general, right? Like, super risky. Never invest more than $500 or $1,000 into any penny stock, especially a sub penny stock, right? Here's what's troubling, right? Look at the volume here, right? Look at the volume, right? The volume's not really doing too much. It is not doing too much. I would say that the volume actually is falling, right? Because can I draw something here? Yeah, look at this, right? If you could do that with volume, okay, especially for penny stock, it may be time to to take off, right? So you guys seen that? It's clear. I'm not making it up. Okay, in terms of penny stock land, you need that volume, right? And so there's too many warning signs here that's saying, hey, maybe Phil wants to chill, okay? So Phil want to chill, all right? But again, not going to hate. Y'all do what y'all want. Y'all grown. Okay, that's Phil. WHR. Whirlpool. I mean, hey, sitting on top of his 21, that's where you want to dip buy, right? That's where you want to cash a dip buys again. If it's above the 21, great. Below it, I would cut it. Okay. And right now we're sitting 224. 224. Okay, so as long as we hold 224, I will say that you gotta respect the game, respect the trend that was here, Dow theory, and potentially buy the dip here on Whirlpool if you like it. And let's look at MRNA. All right, MRNA. MRNA. You like that, MRNA? For all my Jamaicans out there. MRNA. Stocks is on your shoulder. You stock today, you cannot stock in tomorrow. See, I just did a remix. Y'all like that? MRNA. All right, shouts out to my yardies out there. What's going on with MRNA? I would say this. I did not expect MRNA to just blast off his 200 and close the gap here. But this is what happened. To me, team, if you're in MRNA, just take your money and run, right? Like, MRNA hit 350 today, big pullback. I don't know. I mean, dude, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. MRNA is a scalping name. You guys will probably be disgusted to know that I've never held a single position in MRNA. Look at it. It's just too much. I mean, to catch this run in MRNA was fantastic, right? But you gotta identify or be able to identify, right? The front side of the move and the back side of the move. Front side of the move looks like that. Back side of the move looks like this. We're on the back side of the move. I don't like to play over here. Okay. But again, right? Every day we're above the 200 is a good day, right? That's like being alive and not dead. So for me, hey, if MRNA wants to come down here to 300 and hold, hey, maybe you could buy the dip there. Even if MRNA wants to come back to the breakout point at 276 and hold, hey, at least it's not down here. So maybe you could, maybe buy the dip on that. Panther, maybe you play MRNA. You play MRNA because I don't fool around with this thing.
Yeah, I went long on it. I put the back signal out at 270 for people to go long on it. So it printed like hell today. So yeah, I mean, the setup was there. It just played out a lot faster than what I would have thought it would have. But yeah, if someone is in there, they should just take their money and leave it. That's exactly what I did.
Fantastic, team. Fantastic again. For me, again, when I see things like this, to me, I just see scalps. Because I like to play in a way where I don't get clapped, or if I get clapped for very little, right? I mean, MRNA right here, I guess it's right at the mean price. It's just under the mean price, right? Which would be right around 350, right? So, definitely a reversal here. Definitely with the volume here, right? So, let's see if we can get above 350. That's what for me, MRNA looks more like a hold or a wait and see in my book. But Panther, thank you so much for giving us your feedback there. Again, I don't really play MRNA. Kind of a sloppy chart on the back end. I'm not really sure exactly how to play this name here. But again, Panther, thank you so very much for your input on this. But yeah, that's MRNA.
And Charles, I want to ask Lawrence, what percentage, not dollar amount, what percentage did you make on your Moderna call today?
I was up like 300%. It probably would have been 1,000, but you guys know I don't play like short-dated options. So I had options out till the end of December. So they were up like 300%.
Okay, so here's my point, is somebody was looking at the penny stocks earlier, and I get that it's so easy to look at that and say, oh, it's so cheap, I could catch a bid for 50% or 100%. But the flip side of that is you could lose 50 and 100% just as easy, just as quick, and you have to get it right? With something like Moderna that moves a lot per day. Now, this is a little bit more than normal, but it can move a lot per day. Or other stocks, good companies, you can get that 300% you're looking for in one day, like the Panther did overnight here on Moderna, and not take the risk of a penny stock. But it's through the use of options and technical charting. So if you are not involved in that yet, you should check out the Brooklyn Traders or Black Wall Street Originals, so either Charles's or Lawrence the Panther, and get some knowledge on option trading, because that's where you're going to get those leveraged returns that you're looking for with significantly less risk, in my mind, than a penny stock. So I hope that helps for the penny stockers out there. Charles, back to you.
Man, thank you so very much. And I'm going to let y'all know right now, okay? Not financial advice, but somebody asked me about Uber, and I know this is a member of our community. Jonathan, I'm letting you know right now, every day is a good day to buy Uber, okay? If I quit Brooklyn Traders, I'll probably be working for Uber. Like, I won't be driving an Uber, okay? Shouts out to all my Uber drivers out there. Funny story, years ago when I was in between jobs, I was thinking about doing it, right? You're talking about what was it, almost 10 years ago. I don't even know if my son was born. I had thought about doing it. And I actually got my black card license, but I never went through it. My homeboy did. He did very well. Now I'm moving out to Texas and doing real estate out there. Shouts out to my man Cav, Big Cav from Queens. But yeah, Jonathan, you should. Every day is a good day to buy Uber. I have no idea why Uber is down 6%. I mean, sure, I guess. Again, some of these things just don't make any sense to me, right? Like, we don't have any lockdowns. We don't have any cases in the United States. No word of a lockdown anywhere. I mean, Belgium went into a lockdown, I believe, last week over rising COVID cases, but why is Uber down 6%? I have no idea. My algorithm here is telling me that it was kind of a short, but I'm not short Uber. I'm hoarding shares long term. I'm looking for Uber to take care of my grandkids. That's it, y'all. It's always a good day to buy Uber. I know some members of our community actually purchased, again, full disclosure, not me particularly, but members of our community definitely bought leaps in Uber today. They definitely did that. Those are some plays that we're putting out there, all right? And so here we have the next one from the community is the VIX, right? What do I feel about the VIX? Team, understand that. I know when people are asking about the VIX, right? What they're really talking about UVXY, right? And should you go long UVXY? Team, there's few times where going long UVXY makes sense. Just look at this chart, all right? like just look at the chart, right? Even this day, right, back in January, right, where I guess we had a lot of volatility, right? You know, the VIX went from $100. Well, no, they did a reverse split here. So, but let's just say, for argument's sake, right, it went from $100 to $1.50, and kind of hung around here for a day or two, and then, right? Understand that when you're playing with these VIX instruments, you got to come for a good time, not a long time, right? I will warn folks about sitting in VIX instruments, right? Again, there's, to me, I believe you're supposed to use them more to like hedge your portfolio, like maybe add shares of UVXY, right? So if there's some increased volatility, it'll help offset some losses in your portfolio, right? We can sell off and then buy things that you really like Apple and Roblox and everything else. So just be very careful going long the VIX like this, or UVXY. And again, looking at the VIX here, again, every time VIX is above 25, right, it's always dangerous, right? Very, very dangerous. So next week, I'd like to see if VIX is actually above 30, because that's where the real fun really, starts to begin in terms of VIX stuff, right? And team, understand that just because the VIX is going up, that doesn't mean to short, right? Because it means volatility, right? And what does volatility mean? That means up and down, right? So, again, coming close to ending the show here, just look at what happened with SPY, right? And let me just kind of walk you through SPY here on the 5-minute time frame, right? Let me pull a different chart because that looks a little messy. Excuse me. I have a frog in my throat. 5-minute time frame on SPY. Let's end it with that, right? SPY here. Let me, up, down, down, up, down, right? This is, looking at it at the end of the day looks very simple, right? But when you're in this and it's the game time and the clock is ticking and P&Ls are going left and it's going right, P&Ls are going up and P&Ls are going down, right? This could be very nasty, right? Especially, again, you break this level here, right? That's a short, right? At 460.59. You go here, right? Then it kind of pops your short level, or it tests your short level, right? So you could have been stopped out right there, and then it went even lower, right? Hung out, came back up a little bit. So it's like at every moment that you were supposed to short, you got tested, right? So this isn't an easy or clean chart to short, right? On SPY here, if you look on Apple is more straightforward. Apple, this is more straightforward, right? Up, down, break the low of the day, and then down, right? This is nice, right? Even if when you had the oversold bounce here, and then, hung out, it kind of gave you what you were looking for, right? But again, volatility, VIX being up means volatility is up, which makes it harder for people who don't know what they're doing to affect trades in the market. That's why the Panther said, hey, if you don't know what to do, just stay out. All right, we're coming pretty close to the end of our show here. Do any of the moderators have anything to contribute to the crowd?
Yeah, I'll just jump back in and say follow the mods, subscribe to the YouTube. They're here to just provide you valuable information. Again, if you don't have a mentor, Charles has Brooklyn Traders. The Panther has Black Wall Street Originals. Both are amazing groups. And then follow the mods. Mo comes on here and shares gems. The Panther was on here just this morning showing some amazing knowledge when the markets were red. And if you can't handle a red day like today, you're allocated incorrectly. So make sure that you look at your time horizon. If your money is for now, for in between, or for later, and invest accordingly. Again, you need a mentor. Sorry, my baby's crawling all over me. You need a mentor to show you the way that's appropriate for your risk tolerance. Have a great Friday, everybody.
I appreciate that. Panther or Mo, anything?
Yeah, I'll just say, just be mindful of the positions that you take. It's okay to take time off. from trading if you're not experienced with the technicals. And even just like, I even look at this as like, okay, the market just wants me to take a vacation. And that's fine. Like I said, really appreciate the gains that you get in months like we saw in October, and also for the better part of this month as well too. You know, really appreciate those. And, you know, you don't have to trade every single day. Just sometimes sit back, look at your portfolio, see if you can allocate a little bit of equity there, look at some other plays and do some reading. That would be my biggest thing, is like, during times like this, do reading on companies that you're interested in. And yeah, like, not every day is going to be a green day. And yeah, like I said, just keep your long-term thesis. You know, don't let one day cause you to make a decision that you regret 5 to 10 years from now. So yeah, that's really it. Thanks.
All right, Mo, anything? Maybe busy. Oh, there you go.
Just from my part, you know, we've been talking a lot about potential markets going into a bear mode, and getting activated into that mode, and what would you know, basically be the catalyst. And the question is whether this is, and people need to be prepared for, I always say, you know, expect the worst, aim for the best. And that's a very good approach. And that's a very good risk adjusted method to approach the markets. Always be guided that things can go the way you don't expect. Things can go the wrong way. And while you do that, if you keep focusing on that, you will ensure that your gains will come in nice and steady, and you're always ready for a downward situation. Don't be exposed to markets as just being bullish with no downside to any of these markets. This is normal. Markets do pull back. This is a very normal situation. Yes, they need catalysts to happen. This is one, and I think that we're into a potential one to get activated. We have not broken the bullish trend yet, so that's a very important note to keep in mind. I think we need to see how next week goes. I hope that you're able to know how to play the downside and make money from the downside, because that you can do, and at the same time you understand the long-term objective of your portfolio, so that you invest in the right things for the long term that will last 5, 10, 20 years for yourself, and potentially not for yourself, for your kids and their kids. And that's how you have to look at these markets. And that's all for my part. Thank you, Charles.
Appreciate you.
And thank you, Megan and Lawrence, as well. You guys are great.
Thank you, Mo, for joining us. We always love to have you.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Mo, and Lawrence as well. I do see here a member of our community, Big Just. I'm just noticing you down there. Would have had you up on here, but we're at the end of our show. Again, thank you so much for being here, Just. And team, I don't want to do a whole show, and don't forget, right? We got an entire merch store, right? So when people said, hey, Charles, what does don't get clapped mean, right? Here it is. It's the markets, right? Don't get clapped. All right, we got it in a t-shirt form, okay, with a nice Brooklyn Traders decal up the side, okay, and we also have it as a hoodie, okay, don't get clapped hoodie, all right, with the Brooklyn Traders on the back. Guys, these are high performance hoodies. They're nice, they're comfortable. We also have them in different styles as well, right? So that's it, you know. All right, that's it, team. That's it. So thanks, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And God bless.
Have a good weekend. God bless you.
Yep. Take care, y'all.
Don't get clapped.
Don't get clapped.
We sang that. We sang that before this all happened.
Yep. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the pin, Megan. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend, everybody. Hug your family, hug your kids. Do well, be kind to yourselves. Eat well. Big shouts out. Lucretia, I see you down there. Tamora, Jonathan, JR, Satara, Maggie, Kendall, And Stan Sadowski the man. All right. We appreciate y'all. Take care, everybody. And God bless. Have a good weekend.